the Adani group of companies have been holding in the green. That after Hindenburg has announced that they're looking at shutting shop. What exactly is the context and what should we make of it? Sharad is joining us with the 360-degree analysis.
The Hindenburg research has actually come out with its final report. Let's say they have shut their shop. Now, interestingly, the entire statement has come on the website, and the founder, Nate Anderson himself, has stated that all the investigations are completed, and also he's planning to spend more time with his family going ahead. Now, interestingly, he'll be interested in actually going after low-stressed investments going ahead, and also they have recently concluded the final projects as well. As for the team members itself, they are expected to move on as well, and that's a long letter written by Nate Anderson. Also, the statement came is why disband now, and he clearly stated one specific thing: there is no particular threat, no health issue, and no big personal issue. But now let's look at what are the key reports which Hindenburg over the years had come out with, and these are the recent reports which I have taken where the action has happened. Nikola Corporation, it was in 2020. Adani Group in 2023, Ekan Enterprises in 2023 as well. And recently also there's a stock called Super Microcomputers where they did their investigative piece and stock had correction. And also making it to the list is Clover Health, where the report came in 2021. But now let's look at how the timeline has actually panned out with Adani Group, the entire saga between Hindenburg and Adani, how it started. January 2023, there was the first alleged report coming in from the House, and after that in May, Supreme Court appointed a panel to probe these reporting claims. SEBI completed this probe also later in August in 2023. Also, if you look at it in November, Supreme Court reserved its verdict also when it comes to the entire saga. Now, the SEBI completion also happened during this time. 2024, if you look at it, Supreme Court backed SEBI's clean sheet and transferred the probe to SIT, while in the month of June, the share prices recovered to the pre-Hindenburg report levels. And interestingly, the conglomerate also announced to invest over $100 billion in energy and manufacturing projects. Now, SEBI sends show cause notice to Hindenburg in the month of July last year. And in August, the Hindenburg accused SEBI chairperson of stake in offshore entities as well. But after that, of course, adjustments coming in where SEBI chief called Hindenburg's acquisitions baseless in the month of August as well. Moving ahead, of course, in 2025, overall, the chapter of Hindenburg closes as the Hindenburg research actually closes down. So finally, just 3 words for Hindenburg research, and that is rest in peace.
We'll leave it at that. Short seller has cited intense work as one of the key factors as well. Let's take this story forward. Of course, we've seen quite a bit of, uptick come in on all the Adani Group entities, and that was the case yesterday as well. We've got with us Professor Ashwini Mahajan, author, national co-convener of Swadeshi Jagran Manch, joining in on the show right now. Professor Mahajan, good to have you on the show. And clearly, it seems like a, bit of a overhang being lifted from the Adani Group, if you will.
You see, Hindenburg was never an honest agency in any case. As the history goes, whatever they have done, they had been doing it with an intention to make profits, and making profit at the cost of somebody else. And there were also apprehensions that Hindenburg had connections with some foreign countries which are not very favorable to India. I'm talking especially about China. In fact, China was the major beneficiary of the losses to Adani, because Adani had been this group had been causing trouble for China in terms of getting more and more tenders from different countries, and this was also in the national interest of India. And that's the reason why we at Swadeshi Jagran Manch had been raising concerns about how this Hindenburg was raising these acquisitions against Adani Group. So I think with this, the chapter will get closed, and though as we see in case of Hindenburg's other attacks on different other companies all over the globe, Adani was the only group which could face and ultimately get out of it. And I'm happy that this short seller so-called research company is getting closed down.
And Professor Mahajan, like you almost, rightly said, it almost seemed like an attack on the country, right? It was almost maligning India's reputation when the first allegations came out and the first report came out by Hindenburg Research.
Yes. You see, it was definitely an attack on the country, and I was the first one who had raised this issue, that this is actually an attack on the country and not Adani Group per se. So some people said, the Adani is being held by the government and this and that, and there is a loss to the exchequer, there is a loss to LIC and others. But ultimately, we have found that LIC was the major beneficiary of Adani Group coming up, and also the fact that if you see around, if you see the geopolitics, in India was being encircled by China in different ways, by holding on to certain strategic positions, especially Hambantota in China and several other places in the world. And therefore, and it was actually a danger on the danger for the world peace. And therefore, attacking Adani was actually an attack on the very fact that India was getting encircled, and this could only be helped by Adani Group. And by attacking Adani, an attempt was made. But I'm happy that now the Hindenburg is getting closed down, and this and we will go further to uh, acquire more and more tenders throughout the world. And India has a big stakes in global infrastructure. And uh, if we see that if we go further in this, India can and especially IMEC, which has been announced recently in G20, that will make India strides further in global infrastructure making. And there will also be a curb on the Chinese Belt Road Initiative, which is actually an initiative by China to induct the weak countries, as they have done in case of Sri Lanka, they have done in case of Pakistan and many other places.
On that note, we'll let you go. Thanks so much for making time and speaking with us.